It's 9:40 at night. Mike's chest feels tight, so he drives himself to the emergency room. A few hours later, a doctor gives him good news. It's not his heart. It's stress. He goes home relieved. 3 weeks later, an envelope arrives. Inside is a number he never agreed to. Mike has insurance, and he still owes about $2,000. Here's the strange part. Mike never saw a price. Not before the tests, not during, not at the door on the way out. In almost everything else you buy, the price comes first, and then you decide. This is the one bill in America that works the other way around. Tonight, I'll walk you down this single bill, one step at a time, and show you how one night of being scared, quietly, becomes years of debt. Start with what most people believe. I have insurance, so I'm covered. It feels true. But look at how that ER visit actually worked. By law, an emergency room has to examine and stabilize you before anyone asks how you'll pay. That law is called EMTALA, and it's a good one. Care comes first. But it also means the price comes last. After the care is done, when you can no longer say no. And it isn't even one price. The same procedure in the same hospital can carry a dozen different prices, depending only on which insurance card you hand over. Researchers pulled the hospital's own published rates. For one routine colonoscopy, the negotiated price varied by more than 20 times across plans. Same room, same doctor, same scope. It goes further. At one hospital in Dallas, a single knee or hip replacement ranged from about $14,000 to over $56,000 at the same hospital, depending on the plan. You didn't pick a price. You couldn't even see one. You walked into the one store that rings you up after you've already left. You saw the care. You never saw the price. So why does an insured man owe $2,000? Walk down his bill. First, the deductible, the amount you pay yourself before your plan pays anything. In 2025, the average deductible for single coverage was about $1,800. Mike hadn't met his yet this year, so the first $1,886 of that ER visit was entirely his. After the deductible, his plan still doesn't cover all of it. He pays a share of what's left, his coinsurance, usually around 20%. Added up, and Mike, fully insured, employed, doing everything right, owes about $2,000 for one night he was told he was fine. And he already pays for this coverage. In 2025, the average family plan cost almost $27,000 a year, with the worker's share near $6,800. Now meet Dave. Same age, same town, same employer offering coverage. Same chest scare, same ER, the same night, the same tests. But Dave took the cheaper plan. Lower monthly cost, much higher deductible. So Dave's bill for the identical care comes out higher than Mike's. Two men, the same hospital, the same night, two different numbers. That's the quiet truth inside the word insured. In 2024, almost 1 in 4 working-age adults who had coverage all year were still underinsured. Their plan left them exposed to bills they couldn't absorb. You saw the care. you never saw the price. Here's where a bill turns into debt. When you can't pay in full, the balance doesn't disappear. It walks through one of three doors. Door 1, a payment plan with the hospital. Door 2, the bill is sold to a collections company. Door 3, the quietest one. You put it on a credit card, and from that moment, it stops looking like a medical bill at all. Watch Door 3 closely, because it hides the problem. When researchers at the J.P. Morgan Chase Institute followed people through a major medical expense, the typical credit card balance jumped about 34%. And a full year later, it was still around 10% higher than before. The debt didn't go away. It just changed its name. Step back and you can see the scale. Government survey data suggests Americans hold at least $220 billion in medical debt. Around 20 million adults carry it. And on the records of collection agencies, medical bills are the single most common item, more common than any other kind of debt. About half of all adults say they couldn't cover a surprise $500 medical bill without borrowing. You saw the care. You never saw the price. For a while, it looked like one piece of this was about to change. In January 2025, a federal rule was finalized that would have pulled most medical debt off of credit reports, roughly $50 billion for about 15 million people. The reasoning was simple. An unpaid medical bill says less about whether you repay your loans than almost any other debt, because you never chose the price. Then, in July 2025, a federal court vacated that rule. The court found the agency didn't have the authority to ban an entire category of accurate information from credit reports. So today, properly coded medical debt can appear on your credit report again. The document is public. You can read the ruling yourself. A few protections did survive, and they are permanent. Paid medical collections come off your report. Anything under $500 stays off. And there's a 1-year grace period before a medical bill can appear at all. Useful, but the large balances, the ones that actually strain a budget, can still follow you. You saw the care, you never saw the price. So here's the thing I held back at the start. This was never a story about people who spend carelessly. Mike didn't buy something he couldn't afford. He was told he was healthy and sent home. And the price arrived weeks later, in an envelope, for care he could not refuse and could not price. Medical debt is the one debt you take on before anyone tells you the cost. And the cost isn't even a single number. It's a menu you're never handed. Knowing that changes what you can do. You can ask for an itemized bill and check it for errors. You can ask the hospital for its cash price and for financial assistance. Many hospitals are required to offer it. And you can make sure that nothing under $500 and nothing you've already paid is sitting on your credit report where it no longer belongs. Think back to Mike, holding that envelope. The number inside was never the real surprise. The real surprise was that there was a number at all, set after the decision by a price tag he was never shown. Every other store tells you the price before you buy. There's one that tells you after, and by then, you've already said yes.